There are many different safety considerations you need to think about on your job every day. People who work in housekeeping have specific duties and responsibilities. The kitchen staff has their own set of rules and standards relating to their work. Workers in the maintenance shop face entirely different hazards than those working in the laundry. There is, however, one safety concern that applies to everyone, and that is safe lifting. Whether you work in housekeeping, the kitchen, maintenance, or other areas of the hotel, you need to learn safe lifting techniques and practice them every time you lift something. Safe lifting is vital to your own safety and health. Remember, the only person that can prevent back injuries is you. The property can provide you with training and information, but it's really up to you to always lift safely. After all, you're the one who does the lifting, and only you can make sure you do it right. You might ask why safe lifting is so important. It's a common question, and the answer is simple. Unsafe lifting can cause back, shoulder, arm, and other bodily injuries. A back injury can have a negative effect on every aspect of your life, from impairing your ability to earn a living to enjoying your family and leisure activities. But it's not just your activities at work that can cause back pain. How you position your body while you work when in front of a computer, driving, working on your favorite hobby, or even sleeping can affect your health. All the strains from your daily routines can add up over time and create cumulative aches and pains. You may have been lifting incorrectly for years, but it only takes one unsafe lift to seriously injure your back. Is it worth the risk? A back injury can result in severe pain, time off from work, reduced pay, and painful rehabilitation. Nobody wants that, and by following safe lifting procedures, you won't have to. But how exactly do you lift safely? The basic rule is simply this: bend your legs, not your back. If you bend your back like this while lifting, you're asking for trouble. The basic safe lifting procedure is simple and easy to understand. To begin, place your feet close to the item you are going to lift. Squat down close to the object, keeping your back in its natural curvature. Get a good grip on the object. Next, bring the item close to your body and stand up, keeping your back as straight as possible. While it may sound simple, this basic safe lifting technique works. Why hold the item close to your body? Easy. Lifting is done according to the lever principle. The further away from your body the load is when you lift, the greater pressure and strain on your back. For example, the 5 pounds of linen carried incorrectly can put up to 50 pounds of strain on the room attendant's back if carried incorrectly. If your back is bent and your arms are extended when you lift, the ratio is even higher. Keep the load close and keep your back safe. Let's take a quick look at a complete safe lift to show you again the proper method. Remember, bend your legs, not your back. But in a hotel environment, you're not always just picking up a box. This is where your good judgment comes into play. Lifting linens, for instance, bend your legs, not your back. A piece of paper off the floor, bend your legs, not your back. Because the weight of the item isn't necessarily what causes injuries. It's poor posture and incorrect technique. So, what's the basic rule? That's right, bend your legs, not your back. But if at any time you feel an item is too heavy or awkward to lift or move alone, ask for help. Don't try to lift it alone. You and your coworker should count 1, 2, 3, and lift the item smoothly and slowly. But bending over like this isn't the only way to injure yourself. Stretching or twisting can also cause injuries. You should never twist while lifting something. This point is often overlooked because people are busy trying to get the job done. Instead of twisting your back, pick the item up, pivot your feet, and set the item down. Or rearrange the items to reduce the need to twist. This simple method can save you a lot of potential pain and agony. For those colleagues who handle or sort wet linen, this is particularly critical. Simple changes to your workstation or the placement of your equipment may help prevent unsafe actions, such as twisting while you work. Don't overstretch your back. We realize that you must stretch to a certain degree to perform your job in an efficient manner, but there is no reason to overstretch. Stretching too far can damage muscles and stretch ligaments in your back. When making a bed, don't bend over when tucking the sheets under the mattress. Squat down and then tuck in the sheets. It doesn't take any more time and it protects your back. Don't stretch all the way across the bed to remove linens. Walk around. Your back will thank you. If you have to lift something over your head, do so very carefully. Lift the item from the ground and set it on a shelf or mid-level surface. Then reposition your grip and carefully lift the item over your head. Or even better, use a step stool. Safe lifting procedures should never be ignored, even if the item you lift is lightweight. The correct procedures must be followed. That seems basic enough, but what about moving a heavy item like a chair? Well, if you try to move it like this, you're placing too much strain on your body. Sliding the chair by pushing to move one side and then the other requires less strength and applies less strain on the body than attempting to lift or carry it. If you don't think you can do it safely, call a colleague and ask for assistance. If you handle wet linen, remember it's much heavier than it was when it was dry. Lift smaller loads to help protect your back, shoulders, arms, and other body parts. Colleagues working with laundry should use load leveling carts if available. This will bring the laundry closer to you, so you don't have to bend and reach all the way into the bottom of the cart. Also, wet linen may get tangled. Don't pull, tug, or overstretch trying to get it untangled. Use caution and take the time needed to safely perform the task. If at any time you have a question about your ability to perform a lift safely, stop and ask your supervisor. They would rather show you the right way than lose a valuable associate due to a serious injury. An overloaded cart can also present a hazard. It may be too heavy to push safely and it may obstruct your vision. Load your cart safely and sensibly. While it may be tempting to load all the linen you will need for your entire workday, take the time to make an extra trip instead of overloading your cart. Beyond being unsafe, an overloaded and messy cart is an eyesore and distracts from our guest experience. Also, only push your cart. Pulling a cart places undue stress on your back, arms, and shoulders. Always push the cart. There are other areas of the hotel which require a lot of lifting. Banquet servers and stewarding spend a great deal of their time at work moving tables, setting up events, and handling large trays. Even in the busiest of situations, it is always critical to take a moment to plan a lift. Remember to push and not pull banquet carts, to use the proper equipment to move tables and other heavy equipment, and never be afraid to ask for assistance if a load is too large to move without help. You may not think that there are lifting hazards in the kitchen, but they do occur. Use carts as needed and make sure to use step stools as necessary to reach items at a height. Some of the most serious kitchen incidents can occur when someone is moving a hot item. When possible, allow the hot item to cool and use carts to safely transport. While we've mostly focused on lifting in heart-of-house areas and guest rooms, lifting exposures exist in guest view. Bellmen, valets, and doormen may routinely assist guests with their bags. Take your time. Bags can be heavier than they appear. Move the bag to the edge of the trunk, then lift it. Twisting while lifting luggage is especially risky. Like we mentioned before, lift the item, pivot your feet, then set the item down safely. Even during high demand times, please take a moment to consider safe lifting practices. Remember, bend your legs, not your back. Don't overstretch. Avoid twisting while lifting, and get help with heavy or awkward items. When it comes to safety, the most important thing to remember is personal responsibility. You and nobody else are responsible for the health and condition of your body, including your back. If you practice safe lifting techniques, it will greatly reduce your risk of injury and you'll be a safer and more professional associate. Nobody else can do it for you. Don't take your health for granted. Follow the safe lifting techniques outlined in this program and you'll be doing your part to prevent back injuries.